It takes a village to raise a child. That's the motto here at New Life Village in Florida, a unique intergenerational community that's goal is to reduce the number of children in foster care and provide kids in need with a loving, stable environment.
I want to empty the foster care system. I want to be part of a process that's a call from God.
Sister Claire answered that divine call with New Life Village.
These kids have really been through a lot, and so it's like living at a YMCA. We have all these events. We have pool time and movie night and craft time and tutoring, and there's always something going on.
The village doors opened in 2012 after a donor provided money to purchase a Tampa housing development sitting in foreclosure.
I was hoping that an intergenerational community such as this one would be attractive to people who otherwise could not adopt or even foster children out of the foster care system.
Her original plan was residents would either be parents of fostered or adopted children.
There's so much support in this community that it's crazy, but it's what's gonna help me and other kids. So I'm grateful for that.
I think it would be more difficult for us to foster if we were, at a place where we wouldn't have the support.
Or retirees willing to care for the children or community.
Of course, being in education all my life, it was a thrill to come here and be again with children.
Then Sister Claire quickly realized this community could provide help on a wider scale.
What God said is there are a lot of there are a lot of grandparents who are adopting and caring for their grandchildren. And they need a lot of support.
So her vision expanded to include families like Antonia's, who needed low-income housing and help with grandchildren she was suddenly raising.
It just blew my mind. But then again, I kind of knew and felt like, it was definitely all God. We automatically knew that God was taking us to a higher level.
And he was using Sister Aline to do so.
For me, Sister Aline is more than just a neighbor. She's actually my angel, our angel. Anytime, last minute, I can always call Sister Aline and know that she would always cover for the girls, for the boys, and has stayed with them numerous times.
Vivian Bordeaux moved here after retiring from teaching and now tutors the kids.
It gives me goosebumps when I think about I might make a difference in that kid's life. I might be the grandmother they were never able to have. I praise the Lord that I've been chosen to do this, and I really feel that way.
She also helps Marquise Carter, a single parent raising his two nephews.
It's important because both of my parents are deceased, and so my kids don't have a biological grandmother. So to have someone like Miss Vivian, someone like other residents here who take on that responsibility, give an extra hug, give a meal, come over here and let me love on you kind of thing, that's really important.
Marquise told us many children here have been through trauma and need an understanding community.
It's a soft place to land because life can be hard. They have meaningful relationships, meaningful friendships.
New Life Director Mariah Hayden tells CBN News they know the Lord will furnish needs for the future.
Anytime we have a hurdle, a challenge around here, we're such a prayerful community and we all come together and pray for what's meant to be, and it's like the wind is at our backs.
Mariah shared the story of a miracle for one of their newest residents, a grandmother who took in her 3 grandchildren after the 4th died from child abuse. And a 3-bedroom house opened at just the right time.
They'd seen several different foster homes. They'd seen their brother die. They'd seen the system of care try to figure out what to do with them. And God had, in his way, shown the grandmother here.
Even with this new home and friendly surroundings, the kids would not leave their grandmother's side.
When she came, they were glued to her. They were afraid to go to the restroom. They were afraid to just do anything. They'd seen so much in the last couple of months.
Then Mariah noticed a change that led her to believe things would work out.
That was a big moment because he felt safe enough to just take off with his bike. And he was doing laps around the village with his new bicycle. I saw the kids like, okay, we're home, it's safe, we're good.
Residents hope the trauma will be left in the past for many of these kids now that they're at New Life.
It's a joy. It's a joy being here.
It is.
There's a long wait list to get into New Life Village, but they're working hard to raise the money to build even more houses on the 11 acres they're blessed to own. Reporting from Tampa, Abigail Robertson, CBN News.
Just looking up and just thinking to myself, just Lord, just give me the strength to make it till tomorrow. One more?
Yeah.
My name is Anna, and I'm the mother of 6 beautiful children.
He's the biggest fish in the world.
I just love children. I've always been that type to love children. Even when I was 15, I was babysitting all the time. I met the children's father when I was 16. I loved him. I had my first child with him when I was 18. We thought everything was gonna work out. Unfortunately, it didn't. And things just took a turn for the worse. Not really good living conditions at the time. The house was falling apart. There was no running water. It was just deplorable conditions in the house. I just didn't know what to do. It was so much. I was just buried. I felt like I was buried, and I just couldn't surface. My grandmother was watching the children, and it was honestly too much for her. One of my children got out into the street, and the neighbor caught them, knocked on the door to let my grandmother know, but she wasn't answering the door. I got a call at work saying that DCF was at my house, and then I needed to come home. I was begging the investigators not to take them. They were crying, screaming. It was horrible. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget that feeling. I just felt so helpless. I knew I was a good mom, but I just needed the help. Every night it was just routine. Prayed before I went to bed.
3, 2, 1.
I found out about Love Inc. through a friend. I have a contact. I'm gonna send you the number. Give Amy a text. Her name is Amy.
My name is Amy, and I'm a resource navigator for Love Inc. A resource navigator is someone who works with the family or the individual to help them meet their goals. When I first met Anna, she was really quiet, soft-spoken. She really obviously loved her kids and wanted her children back. And she was really willing to develop a treatment plan, work a treatment plan, and accept help.
Just looking up and Just thinking to myself, just Lord, just give me the strength to make it till tomorrow.
Well, first and foremost, she needed housing. She didn't have housing. And so she could not be reunified without housing housing for 7 people is expensive.
That was the biggest thing I needed to knock off the plate to get my children back, safe and stable housing.
We are all children of God, and you have to see everyone's value, even at their lowest point, because even at their lowest point, they have strengths.
When we found New Life Village, actually Love Inc. helped me with the deposit here to move in.
We were able to get her childcare, and then she was able to work, and she did work. But it's just breaking things off one step at a time.
I've learned how to advocate for my children a lot better than I have ever been able to advocate for my children. Knowing my value and knowing that I have a voice and I'm allowed to use it, and I don't have to settle for something less because the kids are worth it.
At Love Inc., we want everyone to meet their God-given potential, and Anna's well on her way to doing that, being a great mom, being a leader in her community, in her family, and she's in school.
I'm going to school for nursing. I want to work with the newborn babies, so that's my goal, is to be in the hospital working with the newborns.
When I see her doing well, whether I had a small piece of it or not, I love watching her. I love seeing her. I love talking to her, and I love hearing about her kids.
She's family. I would like to think of Amy sometimes as my guardian angel.
I love seeing how far she's come, because when our neighbors are doing well, the community's doing well, and that's what we're supposed to be doing. That's what we're called to do, is to help our community and help our neighbors.
I don't even think I can express even in words, like, how grateful I am. Because I know if there's ever a time I need help, I know I can turn to Love Inc. And they'll do everything that they can to make sure me and my kids will be okay.